that you made. That's a bed that you made.
Aye, Katie, let's go.
All hell King Darius.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you laid.
That's a bed that you laid.
What kind of game is you playing?
What kind of game is you playing?
We go hard in the paint.
We go hard in the paint, yeah.
What is you saying?
What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing?
Ay, yeah, whoa,
in the paint,
my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits. I'm in my element, no ollies. You children popping mollies. I'm so intelligent, my honesty turned into philosophy. I go hard in the paint, the harder I play. Nigga, I'm like Harden on James, a problem to face. I don't wear my heart in my sleeve, just look in my eyes. Nigga, you can do what you need, I do what is right. I don't fucking want what you have, just look at your life. Nothing but is sacred to me, it's out of my sight. That just means it's out of my mind, it's not worth the fight. Nigga, yeah, I'm out of my mind, I'm out of my mind. Hey, you did what you did.
Yeah, you do what you did.
Give a fuck about intentions.
Don't give a fuck about intentions.
You can watch what I do.
You can watch what I do.
Just stay the fuck out my mentions.
Stay the fuck out my mentions.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you made.
That's a bed that you laid.
That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is
All right, Beaches, we're about to get started.
where they pay? What kind of game?
That's right, let's get this party going. Drop a comment down below. Are you ready, fam? Are you ready?
That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah.
It's time to dance. Time to get started. Oh, 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 oh. Swole Normeth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, testing, testing. Test, 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 testing, 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 testicles, testing, testicles. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, everyone, to episode 1731 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gaincast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and yo hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. We got some nutting to do. And today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Everest and K2 flexing on all you beaches. Flex for the camera, pinch those nips. Are you ready? Are you ready for some Ask Papa Swolio Live? All right, before we get underway, thank you everyone for being here. Remember, this is a live stream show on YouTube at The Daily Swole. So if you're watching live now, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that like button and share this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Tomorrow's episode is private for members only. We have our weekly accountability meeting. So let me just bring that up on the screen right here. Look at that. Look at that hammer. Look at that beard. Look at that accountability. Just the face of accountability right there. So let's just get some gorillas. Let's get some heating up. Let's hit some buttons here. Oh my God.
I'd be the luckiest guy alive if that did it for me.
Well, this will do it for you. Tomorrow's meeting is going to be fire. Monday, February the 1st. Man, we're in February already. February. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, and that will be streamed live inside Swole TV, as well as the private Facebook group for members only. If you want to make sure you catch all the exclusive episodes, you could join now, swolenormousx.com. There is still time to join and make it for tomorrow's meeting. Don't miss out on that. Again, swolenormousx.com. You can check out other specials there as well. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. All right. So I hope you had a great workout today. Today is Sunday, the last day of January, and we're already into the Feb. We're already into the Feb action. So let's get into today's episode. Lots of questions. We got lots of questions from Instagram and from Discord. We got questions live that we'll be taking too. So we'll jump into that in just a second. Let's bust this beach out of the nut so we can get the swole card going for today. Here we go. Everyone, cover your nips and drop a comment down below what you smashed today. And let's get this beach out. Put some respect on it. My God. Nice. Nice. Go to the fucking gym. Oh, Leo, get some help. Jesus Christ. Sunday evening drinking like a fish. Champagne on a Sunday evening. Maybe if it was brunch time, it could pass. Maybe brunch-ish would make sense. Anyway, all right, drop a comment down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio if you got a question. If you want to win today's Swole card, a chance to win today's Swole card. It's a nice one. A bunch of Swole cards just went out in the mail. So you should all be, those of you that are waiting to get your Swole card, you'll be receiving them soon. We have Get to the Fucking Gym today. So hashtag GTTFG, go to the fucking gym for a chance to win today's Swole card. Okay, let's get into some sweet action, shall we? So let's see what we got going on in the comments. Any questions popping up around right now? Let's see. Dark Crystal, smash some yoga and foam rolling. Now I'm smashing getting my bookshelf organized. You're smashing getting your bookshelf organized. You're smashing your books. Very nice. Okay, Andrew, make sure you guys use the hashtag too. That way they stand out more, but I'll let this one slide, Andrew. I'll let it slide. Andrew asks, for the 90-day dash, how much rest should be taken between sets? Should we do the sets back to back or run through all the exercise for one set and go back through the exercise for set two? Follow the instructions. You can usually do the workouts in different ways. You could do horizontal or vertical loading. So make sure you're reading the workouts and the description of the training weeks and any kind of additional input there. I would recommend resting. You don't want to rest too. It depends on the workout. If you're doing more of an endurance workout, you can rest less, like 1 to 2 minutes. If you're doing more of a circuit, vertical loading, doing one exercise after the other, you can maybe rest less. It depends on what type of workout you're doing. If you're doing the same body parts, it's going to be pretty fatiguing. If you're doing a total body, it's usually designed to be vertically loaded or horizontally loaded, which means horizontal loading means you're doing all the sets of one exercise before moving on to the next exercise. Vertical loading is, let's say you do one set of chest, then you move on to a back, then you go on to a legs. Total body workouts are great for vertical loading. So you definitely want to rest sufficiently. A lot of people think that they have to be just out of breath, like just nonstop moving, but then you're also sacrificing a lot of strength output and a lot of work capacity in that sense. So it depends on what you're actually trying to accomplish at the outcome. So 90-day dash is usually a little bit more endurance based and more for, I guess, locking down the movements and mastery in that sense. It's not so much, it depends on what section of it you're doing. Because the Swole section, you're actually doing more bulking towards the end of the program. So if you have any specifics, you're just mentioning the 90-day dash. That's a vague, there's a lot of different exercises, a lot of different workouts in there. So Teddy, does moving boxes around at work count as a workout? No. I love it how everyone asks, whenever someone mentions, yeah, but I moved a lot of things at work today. Yeah, but that's not a workout. That's not a concentrated workout. You're just doing a repetitive movement over and over again. So can you get stronger moving boxes? Sure. Is it physical activity? Yes. Is it better than sitting at a desk? Yeah, in some cases, sure. But at the same time, does that count as a workout? No. It doesn't. You know that. You know better. You know better.
Yow.
Got some bone broth. Let's see here. Let's see here. Scrolling. Just going to see if we got any other questions. Why is Mike trying to steal my go to the fucking gym card? Jill, I don't know. I certainly have no idea. I know you're being sarcastic. I'm just joking. I get that question a lot, though, on TikTok. I get that question a lot on TikTok. But I worked a lot today, but I moved around a lot, or I lifted this, or I shoveled snow for 2 hours. Does that count? No, it doesn't count as a workout. It's physical activity, but a workout is actually targeted exercise with specific overload. You know, you're doing actual movements that are working in completion or in totality, a certain body part or a certain protocol. Just shoveling snow, yeah, you might be exhausted. You could also throw out your back or hurt yourself. You're also doing repetitive movements, which can actually compound problems. So if you are exhausted from shoveling snow, for example, then do yoga or something. But it's not exercise. It's physical activity, but training is different, right? Eddie, I read Atomic Habits by James Clear that you recommended to someone earlier this week. Great read. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. It's an excellent read. Are you trolling me, King Leon? Are you trolling me with that intermittent fasting? What do I think about intermittent fasting? I can't tell if you guys are trolling me or not. I can't tell. I just want to roast. I want to absolutely roast these questions when someone asks me about that, but I can't tell if someone's serious or not. Yes, I think it's fine if you skip breakfast. I think it's totally fine. Ooh, my goodness. Katie, my goodness. Sweaty clam on a Swole sexy. Is that a new Swole card we need to do? The sweaty clam. The Swole clam. This is going to get it's going to turn into Swolenormous XXX pretty soon. We got to be careful with that. The sweaty clam. Nothing like a sweaty clam. Sweaty yoga clam. Let's see. Papa Swolio, what's the nutrient difference between beef bone broth and chicken bone broth? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Beef is so much more nutritious, though, but the actual details, I couldn't tell you. I don't drink chicken broth. I drink beef broth. I have beef bone broth right now. I also have knuckle bones. I make sure when you're getting bones, make sure you're also trying to get the collagen, the connective tissue. So whether you can get access to tendons or knuckle bones or femur bones or different things, but you want to make sure you're getting some of the connective tissue as well. If you're only getting just the long bones, you're missing out on all those other delicious yum-yums. Yeah, I don't know the details of chicken broth. Chicken broth that's a classic. If you have a cold, drink chicken broth. But I would recommend getting beef broth. Much more powerful. I feel much better drinking beef broth than I ever have drinking chicken broth. I also prefer beef, and I eat beef, and I don't really consume chicken. So yeah, that's my approach to it. But the actual details of nutrient difference, that's an easy Google. I appreciate the question, though. Swole Sama, great read. Another one is Think Like a Monk. I've heard of that book. So anyone else listening, you could drop your favorite books down below. We have the book club going. We've talked about that, doing that inside the Swole family. There's too many things going on. So, but always like dropping good books, good reads for people to jump into. Smokey, how do you like your delicious steak? I like it with a personality. I like it with an Instagram account. Active. I want my steak to have posted 3 times. No, I like it rare. I like my steak rare. Medium rare is you're pushing it. You're pushing it. Medium rare, you're ruining shit. Let's see. Bam, 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 bam. Katie, you're not doing it right if you don't have a V shape when you're getting up from a set. Oh, you mean the sweat? You mean the sweat mark? I get you. Now I get it. I get it. I hear you. Of sweat, that is. I get you. I get you. Oh, let's see here. Okay. Let's see what we got going on. All right, let's get a question from Instagram. If you want to follow on Instagram at Swolenormous, I usually post these question stickers, so that's a great place to drop questions. And actually, I forgot to do it. I'm going to start doing it on I'm going to start asking for questions. I'm going to probably post on the YouTube community page and stuff like that, source some more questions and such like that. So just keep an eye out for anywhere where I'm posting for question stickers, but it's a great place to follow on Instagram. When you see that question sticker pop up, make sure you drop it. Let's see here. Okay. Adriel Isoard on Instagram. Papa Swolio, how to stay motivated no matter what. I'm going to boo that one. No, hold on. Let's get some gorillas there too. And the reason why I'm doing boos is not because I'm booing the question. It's because motivation, we all know about motivation. Fuck that shit, right? Motivation is a fickle, untrustworthy whore. You cannot depend on motivation, so don't even worry about it. Motivation is the equivalent of feeling like it. Do you feel like training every day? I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Do you love to train every day? You might love training. I love training. I love lifting. Do I feel like it every day? No. And it doesn't mean that I don't feel like it in the sense of actually lifting, but making the time to do it, it's not always convenient is my point. You don't have to feel like it. If it's time to do it, it's time to do it. If it's time to recover and it's time to practice yoga and it's time to take a day off from overloading yourself, that's different. When I say train every fucking day, it doesn't mean that you're lifting weights every day. It can also mean that you're practicing your yoga and you're taking care of those types of modalities, which is very important. You can't be lifting heavy every day. You're going to fucking hurt yourself or you're going to under recover because you're not giving yourself enough time to repair between subsequent workouts. So forget the fucking motivation. That's the equivalent of feeling like it. If you're always waiting to feel like doing something, you're not going to get it done. I haven't always felt like going live every day for every single day, but I do it and I enjoy it once I do it. And I more 99.9% of the time I always want to, but there have been some times in the past where it's just inconvenient. I was trying to rush or something went wrong. You know, I hate it when the fucking internet cuts out. Shit happens, but it's not always something that you can't control it. You just have to do it. Do it. You're never going to be motivated no matter what. In other words, you're not always going to feel like it. So don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Deandra, almost finished with Atomic Habits. Is there a page on X for book recommendations? There is not. I've been working through maybe putting up some kind of like recommended reading, but there will be. We've talked about doing the book club. There's no time right now for adding additional stuff like that, but there will be. I'll have like a different list, maybe in the Amazon store, but I want to also have it so it's open for discussion. So maybe in the discussion boards on Swolenormous X would be something that I will create a section for. So there isn't one, but there will be. We've talked about that a bunch of times. There's a lot of other stuff going on. So I'll figure out where I want to put that. Let's see. Good question, but I'll add that to the list of things that we should be putting out there. Because I don't want there to just be a list. I want there to be some conversation and some back and forth. So that'll be super cool. So probably the discussion boards in X, when you go to the discussion section, we'll probably have I'll probably open up something. We'll figure that out. King Leon, what and where should I eat when I'm on the road for 10 hours moving house? I'm moving house. What should and where should I eat? Well, I don't know where you are. I don't know what you have access to. The way I do things is if I'm traveling places, I bring my own food. I cook my shit in advance, whether I have to freeze it, whether I have to prep it. I make my food in advance. I try to make it for as long as I can. That way I don't have to worry about finding things. If you're on the road for 10 hours, you could also just do a fast. It's really simple. You're not moving, like you're not physically doing anything. So why do you have to just sit there and eat? A lot of people in car trips and things like that, you're not exercising. You're not doing any physical activity. What do you have to consume? A lot of people do that because they're either dehydrated, they're bored, there's nothing to do but just sit there. You can take a nap, you can sleep. If you're driving, you can listen to a podcast, you can play a game or have a conversation. A lot of that is just boredom eating because you're not doing any physical activity. So you could fast if that's a concern. You could just not eat for 10 hours. It's not long. That's a basic. People do that for fasting all the time. We're just talking about intermittent fasting. You were joking, but that's a real question. Kind of ironic how the question that you were trolling with before actually answers this one. So just a thought. Depends on what you have access to, but make your food first. Mike, Papa Swolio, I bought some flex bars to help with elbow pain. Do you have a recommendation for how often I should use them? Once a day or at it? No. Yeah, every day. Every day. You do the slow resistance, the slow negatives with the extensors. Do them regularly. Do them a couple times a day. You could just do a few reps frequently. That's something you could just grab and do like 10, 15 reps. Definitely do it before upper body workouts, but do the flex bar either a couple times a day or at least once a day. I would do it earlier in the day. You warm up your arms. Yeah, just do it frequently. You don't have to crush it. You don't have to be like, oh my God, super heavy. It's more about the repetitions, because the reason why you have elbow pain is not from one thing. It's not like you grabbed weights and oh my God, your flexors are overpowering and now you have elbow pain. Tendinitis and those things happen from repetitive movements over and over and over again, and just the constant neglect and imbalance of that area. So you can expose it to it more often. The different strengths are for different strength people, but also if you have a lot of pain with your forearms, you're not gonna be able to do the stronger one. So if you have a lot of inflammation, you get the lighter one so you can actually do it with minimal discomfort. And then as you get stronger, you can work up into the other one. So there's a yellow one. I think it's yellow, red, and there's blue, and there's a green one. I have the green one, and the heaviest one is the blue one, but you work your way up to that. Let's see. Dark Crystal, Papa Swolio, what are your thoughts on using 20-pound kitty litter jugs filled with water as makeshift kettlebells until I can get actual kettlebells? Well, I have no idea what the shape of that is. You're not really using it like a kettlebell. You mean just a handle, like squats and stuff? They're great. That's great. That's great for using it for curls or for presses. It's definitely not going to be a kettlebell. You might get some sloshing around. It could be something. I don't know what you mean by using it for a kettlebell, because if you're just holding weights like a dumbbell, then yeah, sure, you can just hold them, but you're not gonna be able to swing them and do snatches and cleans and shit. But you can definitely mimic some movements, I'm sure, depending on where the handle is. But yeah, you could do squats with them. You could do walking lunges. You could do curls or presses. You could do a lot of stuff with just weights. If you fill that up with water, 20 pounds is 20 pounds. So anyone that thinks a home gym is not as good as a real gym, it's just weight. It's just weight. So if you're lifting to a 20-pound jug or a 20-pound dumbbell, the dumbbell is just a specific shape that's controlled, that's smooth and round and consistent. That way, when you upgrade the weight, it's a consistent type of distribution. So you can progress in weights. You can lift something that's 20 pounds and then go and find something in your house that's 30 pounds, but it might be a different shape. You might not be able to use it with one hand. You might need two hands to grab it. So that's why actual dumbbells and those types of pieces of equipment are beneficial, because it's actually a focused shape that you can control, that's balanced, so you can progress to higher weights more rapidly in many cases, because it's concentrated and it's consistent in the shape. Hashtag go to the fucking gym. GTTFG for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's keep on taking some more questions. I'll try to prioritize the live questions if you're asking questions live. So let's see another one here. Well, there you go. I appreciate that. Fappy Appy. Motivation is trying to get something done. No try, only do. Mr. Miyagi. That's a Yoda quote too, right? Is no try, only do. Danya-san. King Leon, 10 hours listening to the Daily Swole is all I need to satisfy me then. And just eat the Daily Swole. Eat the Daily Swole. Or you listen to a couple procasts and they'll take you. But it is interesting. It sounds like, on the surface, it sounds like an eating disorder. Just don't eat for 10 hours. But it's just 10 hours is good for you. You think about it, it solves you a lot of issues trying to think about, where am I going to eat? It's like, just don't. I'll be fine. You can eat a big meal, eat something substantial before, and then you're going to be fine. Smoke it. Papa Swolio, what exercises would you recommend for core with or without equipment? You can do different ways. We have the Swollen 7 core that you can do. You can get an ab wheel. You can do hanging leg raises. You could do planks. There's a lot of great stuff. I don't do a lot of focused core activity in the sense of I don't do, I haven't in a long time done, I'm going to do ab work. I get a lot of that done when I'm doing pull-ups and ring dips and I'm doing, let's say, rollouts with the rings or ring flies, kind of like a TRX. You're getting tons of core activation. Kettlebell work, kettlebell swings, Turkish get-ups. How much more do I need to fucking do crunches? Seriously, you don't really need to do as much for your abs as you think you do. A lot of people want to see the abdominals in that area, so they end up just doing core, and a lot of core strength, which can actually compound muscle imbalances. A lot of what you're trying to focus on, or what you need to focus on, is glute activation and intrinsic core stabilizers, the six-pack, the rectus abdominis. That's there. That's there. You could be really skinny and see your abs. What you really need to do is remove the subcutaneous fat, which comes down to nutrition, recovery, rest, reducing stress, cortisol levels, and such. And so there are a lot of great exercises for core, but have you checked out the Swollen 7 Core Smoke? I'll have to add some more workouts. This is going to be a big year. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I'll update you all tomorrow, the accountability meeting, give you some insights. We'll talk some more shop. We're going to have some more Swole Motion vlogs talking about it, but we got some stuff going down, so we'll get back to doing some new juicy content soon. All right, let's take another question. If you do have a question live, you can ask Papa Swolio, hashtag go to the fucking gym, GTTFG. Look at that sexy peppermint tip. Am I right? All right, look at that peppermint tip. All right. And if anyone's new, make sure that you are checking out the details to join the Swole fam, swolenormousx.com. And remember, this podcast, you can listen on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Check out our other shows, the Swolenormous Audio Experience, Swolenormous Procast, episode 12 just dropped, as well as Red, White, and Swole. Check out all those shows available everywhere you're listening to this. And we're live every single day, again, except tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are not live to the public. We'll be streaming live inside Swole TV and the private Facebook group for members only. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern Time, Monday, February the 1st, 12 noon Eastern Time. We have some new releases. We got some awesome Swole fan posts, our weekly accountability meeting, making sure that we are fucking focused for the week. It's time to fucking get it done. Time to fucking get it done. Time to get ready. Let's get a question from John inside the Swole fam Discord. Papa Swolio, I have been doing the brain gains for almost 3 weeks now. This week I attempted the 10-minute sessions, but do not feel the same benefit from the 5-minute sessions. Should I continue the 10-minute sessions or go back to 5? Let me see here. I'm trying to work through this. This week I attempted the 10. I attempted the 10-minute sessions, but do not feel the same benefit from the 5-minute sessions, or you mean as the 5-minute sessions? Should I continue the 10 or go back? So you like the 5, you don't feel the same benefit. I'm not sure. Obviously, there's no context. I'm not sure if you're watching right now, John. You don't feel the same benefit. Well, more isn't always better. It's definitely going to be more challenging. You might feel yourself getting more distracted just because it's longer and you have to practice. I would keep on practicing the 10 minutes. You could also do both. You could do both. You could practice that. You could do a 5 and then later on do a 10, or you can change. You can mix it up. I would definitely practice longer sessions though. It could just be because it's new to you. 5 minutes by the time, look, 5 minutes is great. And I love the 5-minute sessions. Actually, drop this in the comments below what your favorite length of the brain gains is, because there are going to be some new sessions coming soon. What's your favorite length? Because 5 minutes is great, but you barely get into it. That's just as you're kind of getting into it, it stops. But it's a great thing to start the day if you don't have a lot of time. So I like to give a lot of options. That way you don't feel like you have to, okay, 30 minutes. If we only had 30-minute sessions, no one would do it. It'd be really hard to try to get started with a 30-minute session. You need to start small, because sitting there, not moving, focusing on your breath, it's really challenging at first. So 5 minutes is sometimes all you need. We do have some adjustable sessions too. Yeah. So Swole Sama is saying, try adjustable. I go as long as I find I need and as often as I can. There are adjustable sessions. Those adjustable ones, when available, you can do the same session for 20 minutes or 30 minutes and sometimes 5. So a few of those in the adjustable section, you will if you like that one flow for example, that one brain gains flow, we can call it. If you like that one brain gain session, you could be like, ooh, I like this one. Let me do the same thing for 20 minutes. And that way you kind of know what to expect. So there's a lot of different options. So Josh, I do both 5 minutes in the morning and 10 at night. Jill, 10 minutes. Josh, 10 minutes. Ren, 10 minutes. Cerny, 20, sometimes 30. So yeah, do whatever. I'll tell you this, whatever you can be consistent with, John, to answer your question, whatever you can be consistent with. If you could be consistent every day with 5 minutes and do 5 minutes, if you find yourself for whatever reason, 10 minutes, I would definitely challenge yourself. Remember, meditation is not just doing nothing. You're definitely doing something. Anyone that thinks that meditation is just, I'm going to stop thinking. I'm not going to think for a while. That's not how it works. That's not how meditation works. You're active in your approach, but you're also doing nothing. It's a combination. It's kind of pulling from both ways. You're actively observing. You're allowing everything in, but you're not activating thoughts. You're just observing thoughts. So you're definitely present. And the goal isn't to not have any thoughts. You can't stop thoughts. The goal is to learn and to develop the skills on how to handle those thoughts when they appear. That way, when you have these instances in your life and these things that pop up, you're able to handle them much more astutely and much more with much more grace, and you're not allowing a lot of negativity and bullshit to affect you. Ooh, let's get another question here. Demented Karma from the Swole Fam Discord, Papa Swolio. Hey fam, I'm starting the elimination diet and had some clarifying questions. With honey, what keywords should I be looking for or looking out for? Do I have to get raw unfiltered? Has anyone tried monk fruit, and what are your thoughts on it? Lastly, does anyone know a good source of wild game or organ meats and recipes to make them? Thanks, fam. I'm excited to start this portion of my healthier new life. I recommend obviously checking through the recipes. All of that is in the recipe archive, and I'm going to be adding some more resources for recommended locations for purchasing. Those of you can drop it down below where you purchase your meats, but I'm going to have some links there. I'm going to put a link either tonight or tomorrow. I mentioned this for last week, but I want to update that along with like the book club thing. I wanted to update some of those things, but some links where when you log into your library, you have the Amazon store. So I want to put some more links there and some more resources. So you can order online. You can go to Whole Foods. You can go to Walmart, all these. There's a lot of different stores and individual places depending on where you live. But there are also some good online places to order from. And I'm going to put a couple links there that way, or some recommended. But in terms of honey, there's a bunch of questions here. Do I have to get raw unfiltered? Yes, you definitely don't want to get processed honey. I don't use monk fruit or other sweeteners or artificial. If it's an elimination diet, I would try to keep that minimal. And very excited for you to get started. Very excited. I do like honey. I recommend definitely get raw, unfiltered for sure. You don't want to get any kind of processed honey. During my worst anxiety moments, brain gains is everything. I'm so glad to hear it. Let's see. Swole Sama. Going back to the meditation, you're just beginning with it also. You might find once you get used to going into that state of mind and flow, it'll get easier and you need longer lengths. That's what she said. Got it. John, I like the 5-minute sessions of brain gains for beginners. It's hard to explain, but you'll know when you need to bump up to 10 minutes. The 5 just won't feel like enough. It's also true. You might just not have been doing the 5 minutes long enough. You might think you've been doing it for a while. Hey, I've been doing it for a week. You maybe have to keep on going. Whatever you're consistent with, I think we can all agree doing 5 minutes every day is better than doing 10 minutes and maybe kind of like, because it's not really clicking with you for whatever reason, doing it every other day or not being consistent. So as long as you're consistent and you challenge yourself, just be consistent. You'll grow. Dark Crystal, local, raw, unfiltered honey from a farmer's market. If you can, local is always better. Shortening that chain of command or that service, the food chain, making sure that you're getting things in season and local whenever possible is definitely ideal. Is monk fruit sugar bad? I would not look at that as a health food. I mean, sugar is sugar. If you're consuming a lot of sugar, that's going to be a concern. You definitely don't want to be pounding sugar. I'm not sure. I know monk fruit is something that's used as some kind of sweetener, but sugar is sugar. When you look at these artificial foods and things that have additives, a lot of it's, whether it's fruit sugar or blue or agave syrup, it's just sugar. It's just processed sugar. So I don't know of any benefits to using monk fruit sugar. I would rather have some raw unfiltered honey, for example, some honeycomb or some stuff like that. So when you say, is it bad? I don't have anything against monk fruit sugar, but I don't know what reason you would have to consume it. Unless you're trying to make things sweet. But if you're making things sweet, then okay, you know what you're doing. You're adding sugar. That's what's sweet. You're adding sugar to your food. So there's a lot of strange justifications. People don't want to see, and a lot of it's marketing. So if you noticed in the last 10, 20 years, there's been a lot of truth comes out. Oh, everyone knows high fructose corn syrup. Most people are aware of high fructose corn syrup being really bad for you. There's a great documentary. I haven't watched in a long time. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix still, but it's called King Corn. Has anyone seen that? I remember seeing it. I don't remember all the details, but I believe the general premise was these dudes went to some farm, I don't know if it's Iowa or somewhere, and they got one square, it wasn't a mile, but it was like 100 by 100. In other words, they purchased or rented a plot to grow corn, and they documented from seed, growing the corn all the, excuse me, all the way until it's high fructose corn syrup. So they grew the corn, they harvested the corn. In other words, they followed their corn all the way to the point when it was actually, and they made high fructose corn syrup in the kitchen, and they had to use all these corrosive, poisonous chemicals to reduce. It was gross. It was nasty. In other words, they just showed it step by step from seed to corn, all the way to high fructose corn syrup. So I would check it out. I would check out that documentary. But anyway, my point was, then everyone's looking at labels and staying away from high fructose corn syrup. So then they start using agave syrup and all these different things. It's just, or molasses or brown sugar or organic brown or cane sugar, organic cane sugar. It's fucking sugar. It's fucking sugar in concentrated form. So it's definitely not something that you should be looking to add to your diet. It's not benefiting you, is my point. So it depends on what you're trying to use it for. Coffee, or you baking, or what? I'm not a fan of any of those artificial sweeteners. I'm not buying it. Deandra, Papa Swolio, asp. Sweet potatoes seem to be one of your go-to carb sources. Why is that, other than being delicious? Personally, I find that sweet potatoes are one of the foods that my body reacts better to. It depends on the person. So generally when I consume carbs, it'll be something along the lines of sweet potatoes, or white rice tends to not cause me any issues, like gluten, like, breads and pastas and stuff like that. So I try to avoid those things, and I've always felt great on sweet potatoes. I don't consume as many as I used to. I'm also doing a lot more organ meats, a lot more grass-fed beef. I've upped a lot of other things. I'm doing mostly meat and fruit, and on occasion I'll throw in some more. I'm doing a little bit more carbs. It really does. If you're trying to train hard, you tend to start needing some more carbohydrates, but I get a lot from fruit. So it's definitely something that I recommend. A lot of people don't have issues with it. Most people, I haven't heard a lot of pushback on sweet potatoes, but some people have issues with white potatoes because they're nightshades, and brown rice is, gross, hard to digest. So that's what I would recommend. So a lot of when it comes to nutrition, when people ask me personal questions, like, what are your thoughts on this? I'm going to talk in the sense that you're asking me, why would I eat this? So make sure that whenever we talk about nutrition, that you understand that everyone likes to plant their flag and wrap their identity around their food. Okay. Now, most of the people here, most of you here, and most of the people inside the Swole fam are very reasonable. And even if you're a vegan or you're not a vegan, there's no hate. We tease and we joke, but you got to do what works best for you. Like if someone told me you should not be eating, you shouldn't be eating meat. You should be eating only soy. I'll be like, oh, go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
So that's really the way it is. The most important thing is that you're pursuing your nutrition to individualize and to customize and optimize it for you. So it's very important to understand when you're asking me a question about certain foods, I'll give you my personal experience. And a lot of foods that people eat, I'm like, no, I've a lot of the foods that people will mention or ask questions about, I'm like, I've tried these, feel no benefit. There's a lot of things when it comes to food that you want to have that good feeling when you consume it. Like you feel that pump, you feel that swelling, you feel that recovery, you don't feel joint pain. That's why it's important to pursue an elimination diet and always be refining, because your body is going to change as you go through the years. And it's important to always understand that your body will change, your gut biome will change. There's a lot of stuff we don't know. Nutrition science is very, very new. So the simpler that you can keep your food, the simpler and the closest to the source that you can keep your food, the better off you'll be. The longer chain, the further away your food comes from, the more hands or the more exchanges it has, the more processing. It just becomes less and less anything resembling food. And even the fruit and the things that we eat today is not what evolution has brought us. It's all genetics. It's all genetics to help these foods or these plants resist bacteria, resist glyphosate, resist all the shit that we've done to this planet in terms of trying to produce so much food for an ever-growing population. Just stop fucking, everyone. Stop fucking. We'll have better food. My God, you want grass-fed beef to come down in price? Stop fucking. Yow.
Is this a list of things I did to your mom last night?
Problem solved. Problem solved. All right, let's take a couple more questions. Let's see. Chris, what's your opinion on eating a lot of fruit, especially berries? I'm addicted to berries. I love berries, raspberries. I just had a bowl of strawberries. I keep frozen fruit. They stay better if you're getting them, unless you have them ripe in season. But I eat a lot of fruit. But again, too much or excess, you don't need too much. Addicted to berries. I mean, how much are you eating? You know, it's still going to be carbohydrates. You definitely don't need endless amounts of them, but adding them into an animal-based diet, I'm a fan. I eat them. Delicious. I love me some berries. Scrolling down. Let's see here. How is Mama Swolio doing? She's doing fantastic. She's doing excellent. Thank you for asking, Jill. All right, let's take another question from Cole. We'll take a couple more, so if you got more, drop them live. Cole asks, Papa Swolio, hey fam, I just got my pull-up bar installed. I have never been able to do a pull-up before and was wondering if doing the negatives of the pull-ups or dead hangs are more effective at building the strength needed to do one. Absolutely. Thus, the master classes and all the content about doing negatives to help you do your first pull-up. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dead hangs aren't really going to help you do a pull-up. It'll do for grip strength and it'll help straighten out your shoulders and expand and decompress the spine. So I love dead hangs. Fantastic. Especially if you can let your legs hang completely straight and not have to bend them if you're doing a pull-up bar on a door frame, like a full complete hang. But yeah, do negatives, do isometric holds, do negatives. Start at the top, step up on a chair, do a negative, try to let yourself controlled all the way down 3 to 5 seconds. Do a few reps of that. Try to extend that to 5 to 7 seconds, 7 to 9. When you can start doing a few reps of doing, or at least a couple reps of doing like 10 to 15 second descents really slow, you'll be able to do a pull-up. Negatives and isometric holds are the best way. It's the best way. Using those machines or having an elastic band, those things they're taking away the core strength. They're taking away your stabilization. They're taking away the stress that's going to really help you build those muscles. The same muscles on the way down on the eccentric are the same ones working concentrically on the way up. So that's definitely the way to go. Definitely the way to go. Pull-up negatives are nasty. I did some today. It's always great to burn out. You're doing a set of pull-ups and then you kind of like step up and just do a few negatives at the end. Nasty. It's like just a burnout set, drop set kind of. Alex XV number 3 on Instagram. Do you have tips for abs? Yeah.
Matt Damon.
I'm going to give you a Matt Damon on that one. Do I have tips for abs? It's such a vague question. You mean to get rid of the fat on top or to actually develop the muscles? Sure. Do yoga, do your planks and stuff like that. Get into some kettlebell work. That's going to be fantastic to work on core. Turkish get-ups, kettlebell swings, fantastic. Free weight exercises. Look into elimination diet. This is everything. This means I want to see my abs. This doesn't mean I want to develop my ab strength for what? To sit up out of bed faster? To get up off the couch better? You know, this is a kind of just general question. So I don't hate on you. I don't hate on your question, but it's fucking vague and lame. Yeah, target belly fat. Fuck that. Ajaimem. AJIMEM. A. Hymem. Aheim. M. All right. Interesting name. Papa Swolio. The best compliment to weightlifting. Yoga.
USA, greatest country in the world.
Get your yoga on. Yoga, 100,000%. The best compliment. Well, best is relative, but if you're not doing yoga, anyone that wants to work on abs, you want to lose weight, you want to feel better, you want to get rid of pain, whatever it is. If you're not, again, 7 pillars, if you're not lifting, start lifting too. But if you're not practicing yoga, practice yoga. Everyone. You could do yoga if you're fucking in a wheelchair. You could do chair yoga. You could do yoga if you're 90. You could do yoga if you're 5. Absolutely number one thing you should be doing in addition to weight training, hands down, 1,000%. And meditation too. But physically speaking, just, from the training standpoint, aside from pillar 6, yeah, big time. Big time. All right, Chris B. Papa Swolio, what exercise would you recommend for a bad lower back? I would recommend glute activation. A lot of what happens with lower back is you have really tight hip flexors and your glutes aren't firing. So hip bridges, yoga, of course, but activate your glutes, making sure you're doing your lateral tube walking, all those things. There's great exercises in the glute section in the instructional video library. Let's see here. Things like planks, kettlebell work is great too, but mobility and glute activation. A lot of people are trying to do my lower back is bad. So you go to train your back. A lot of times that can compound the issue. So it depends on what hurt your back to begin with. What's the cause? If it was an accident, you got into a car accident, then your back has been hurting for years. That's different than you did something wrong or you've been doing repeated movements. Let's say you stock shelves and you're bending over all the time, you're leaning and you're doing, that can be something that's, obviously from a different muscle imbalance. So it depends on if it's something that was an impact injury or something that has come up over time. Smokey, how much for the Swole fam to take over the Daily Swole? How much for the Swole fam to take over I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. How much for the Swole fam to take over the Daily Swole? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. We'll take a couple more questions. Bob Roberts, 123. Does cardio count as training? Any excuse to use some poop soundboards. Well, it depends on what kind of training you're doing. So if you are training for something specifically for cardiovascular capacity, let's say you do marathons, then yeah, running is going to be That's going to count as training for sure. If you're doing 15 miles, you're doing marathon type stuff. Yeah, that's going to be training. And if you're doing a cardiovascular workout, then sure, it's exercise, it's training. My concern is the classic preoccupation with cardio as being the most important thing to get all the results in the world that you ever wanted. Physique, health, everything is just, I need to get in shape. Let me go running. That just kind of shows you don't have a plan. You're just going to do something. That's just so 1980. It's just Jane Fonda shit, Richard Simmons. And I'm not saying that cardio is lame. I just think so many people spend so much time on those fucking machines just endlessly for just hours. And they don't have to, just exhausting themselves. So it depends. It depends on how you use it. If you use your cardiovascular training to combine with, to integrate with resistance training, yoga, mobility, meditation, all that stuff, then sure, you can work that in as part of your protocol. It depends on what your goals are. So if it fits your goals, you can focus more on cardiovascular training. Could be based on where you live, your limitations, your work capacity, there could be some other contraindications that might lead you to like, hey, well, you can't really do kettlebell work, or it's better for you to go for a walk than to do this. So it depends on the individual. And it can definitely count as training, but I would definitely then pose the question, well, why are you doing so much cardio then? Why are you doing an hour of cardio? What's your goal, and does it fit there properly? And there's nothing wrong with cardiovascular training. Definitely not knocking it, but a lot of people, what's the word? A lot of people pushing all their chips on cardio, and it's like, I don't like it when, all right, let me just rephrase that again. I don't like it when people pushing all their chips and go all in on cardio, and they want and they're looking for aesthetics. They want to look a certain way. And that's what really happens. Everyone that's going on Instagram and YouTube, they want to look a certain way. People want to look a certain way. People want to feel good. You want to have physique. It's like, then stop doing so much fucking cardio. Seriously, then stop. You have to bodybuild. If you want a body, if you want to look and be like, oh, look, I like the way my body looks. Guess what? That's bodybuilding. That's what you want. You want aesthetics. You want symmetry. You want development, you want balance. That's what bodybuilding is. Now, you might not want to step on a stage, but that's what I do. I train with bodybuilding in mind. I like proportions. If I'm downsizing a little bit, I make sure my it's just visually. You don't want to have stick legs. You don't want to have oversized body parts. You want to match. So there's a wonderful art form approach to sculpting your own body. And most people want that. That's what most people want. And then they go and they do other stuff that's just physical expenditure without any real understanding of exercise science and how to build the results that they want. So as long as it fits that whole bigger piece, there's nothing wrong with it. Just make sure that your training is going to map to the results that you're actually that you want. My mom lost 130 pounds by diet and sweating to the oldies. There you go. It works. Yeah. Not eating crap food and moving more definitely helps. You can lose weight. Again, though, you're losing weight, but are you getting a physique? Are you getting, what are you trying to get from it? But if you have a lot of weight to lose, it's all good. Davor Petkoski. Papa Swolio, I'm a complete beginner and I have no idea what to do. Can you recommend a beginner routine? I would recommend starting with if you can start as a beginner, you could start with yoga. That'd be fantastic. There are a lot of general weight training programs. I have, there are a lot of workouts. They're not really necessarily beginner per se, but there's a lot of free, we got some workouts on the Swolenormous X blog over at swolenormousx.com. If you click on the blog, I believe there's some workouts on there still. I think they're still up there. Also, if you go to swolenormousx.com/links, got a free Swoga class and a free mobility class. But a general beginner routine for lifting, got to make sure you're doing it right. So a general total body workout, total body routine, 3 to 4 days a week would be a great place to start. But you definitely need to learn good form. So just me saying, hey, do a chest press and do a squat, that's just kind of like, writing it off bullshit just to me. Hey, just do this. Here's a good routine to do. I'm not going to do that just sitting here, just tell you, do these exercises. But there's a lot of great basic beginner programs. Just don't get too complicated. There's a lot of stuff if you're brand new, just brand new. There's a lot of stuff with nutrition. There's a lot of stuff to understand how to lift properly, but I would definitely learn how to lift properly. If you can get a trainer at the gym or you have a free session to help you learn, hopefully the person knows what they're doing to help you learn how to do certain exercises properly, watch a ton of videos. You have to be a student. You have to be a student. You're not going to learn everything from one person. You just got to absorb as much as possible. But I would recommend starting with a total body workout routine and just getting consistent with going to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, lifting weights, and then practicing yoga on the other days. What's up, Khan? Hey, Papa Swolio, I'm from outside the US and I don't know your memberships are still on. Yeah, well, you can join. We have people from all over the world. You can join from wherever. Yeah, swolenormousx.com. You can join from anywhere in the world. And if you have questions about memberships, you could send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, or you could use the live chat on the website. So if you head on over to swolenormousx.com, you could also use the live chat, ask us a question, or send us an email to support@swolenormous.com if you have questions. All right, let's see. All right, we'll take one more question. One more, and this one's from Instagram. Cade Tinsley, what do you tell people, Papa Swolio? Papa Swolio, what do you tell people who are worried about not reaching their goal because of time? Well, I got a great answer for this one. This kind of goes back to the motivation question. What do you think about motivation? How do I stay more motivated? And the answer is you're not going to feel like it half the time or more. So fuck your motivation. You do it. Now, what do you tell people who are worried about not reaching their goal because of time? Now, I don't think this means make the time per se. I don't think this means, we could take this two ways. All right. One, I don't have enough time. I work and either you do it or you don't. It's binary, black or white, 1 or 0. Either you get your workouts in or not. You have 5 kids, you have no kids, you have 1 job, you have 10 jobs. Seriously, I'm not saying it's not, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's very simple. Either you make the time to get your workouts in or you don't. It's very simple. Because you're not going to build the muscle or get the results that you want unless you do the work. So either you make the time to do the work or you don't do the work and you don't get the results. So it's very simple. Now, when it comes to the other way you can read this question, not reaching their goal because of time, like you want to get to your goal. Hey, I want to lose 20 pounds by the summer. Okay. It depends. I don't like those kinds of deadlines. I think goals are great, but I think you have to adjust goals. And if you're losing weight because the summer is coming, that's not necessarily the most longevous approach. That's a shortcut type of thing that people do, and they end up making bad decisions to try to lose the weight number on a scale. They'll cut water, they'll cut calories too much, they'll do those fucking juice cleanses or a fit tea. They'll lose the extra water weight because they're pissing or shitting themselves crazy, and then they gain it all back because they're just drinking mimosas on the beach on their vacation, or they're going on a cruise. So it's like, what's the point? You're just losing water weight and gaining water weight back. So if you're worried about not reaching your goal, you might not, but that's why you have to set realistic goals. You have to set goals that you can actually achieve, 1 to 2 pounds a week, and then you extrapolate that out. If you're trying to lose 50 pounds in 2 months, that's unrealistic. Is it possible? Maybe. Has it happened before? Sure. A lot of things have happened before. Didn't David Goggins lose like 100 pounds in 3 months because he was training for the SEALs? Like, what the fuck? But no one does that. No one does that. It's possible doesn't mean it's something that you should be achieving as something that's average or normal or achievable or realistic. So keep that in mind. Good question. Ray, last question. Good question. Muscle size or muscle strength? What's more important for longevity? I would say muscle strength. As much as I'm not, and when I say muscle strength How strong do you have to be? So longevity, do you need to be able to bench 400 pounds? No. Do you need to be able to deadlift 400 pounds? No. But muscle strength is going to also translate over into bone density and other physiological benefits to having more strength and capacity. So stronger muscles, stronger bones, all of that's good. All that's good. So muscle size is usually more taxing on the body. Muscle size is actually, and muscle size to a point, muscle size and muscle strength they correlate, but you all know people that can increase, you can increase strength without increasing muscle size because it's the way you train. You train to improve your motor unit synchronization and, the way your muscles fire. So you can increase your strength without increasing muscle size. That's going to come a lot down to diet and how you train. Strength training, specific strength training, is different than hypertrophy training. Hypertrophy training, you're doing more reps, you're doing more volume, you're going to failure, you're just doing a lot more workload in many cases. Doing strength training, you might be doing lower reps, heavier weight, but longer rest periods, 5-10 minutes. You're just doing more powerlifting potentially. Or more strength training doesn't always translate directly over into muscle size. Muscle size is a different type of approach that you're trying to increase the cross-sectional area of a muscle fiber, a myofibril. But in terms of longevity, I would say strength just because it's going to translate more over into bone density and such, but it depends. If you have a lot of muscle, it's taxing on the heart, it's taxing on the body. Just some thoughts, but they cross over. There's a little bit of both. Obviously, when you get stronger, you're going to build some muscle, but it depends. Anna, can you even maintain large muscle as you get older? To a point, sure. I mean, you're going to lose muscle over time as testosterone drops and your body starts to slow down and decay, essentially. But yeah, you can maintain muscle. It's not going to be the same as when you're 20 or 30 or 40. Like in your 70s, you're not going to be able to maintain the same amount of muscle mass as you would. The same thing with bone density. You're not going to be able to achieve the maximum bone density in your 70s because you peak in your 30s, I believe. Lisa, how to deal with people who are friends and family who question why you are no longer partaking in their indulgences. The mac and cheese desserts, now that I'm eating healthy, it bothers them. You can tell them, go fuck yourself. You can tell them that, Lisa. Legit. If they're questioning why you're no longer partaking, you don't want to. If it bothers them, that's on them. If it bothers them, they can go fuck themselves. Just saying. It's not a romantic way to think about it, but if it bothers them, the fuck? What gives them who cares if it bothers them? They're not eating it. They can eat. It bothers them because they are looking at that like, oh, you think you're better than us? Probably. And or what you're doing is something that they're not willing to do for themselves. They're addicted to those foods. They're not willing to make those choices. And your better choice is reflecting on how they're not making that choice. So it's a mirror. It's a mirror effect. Yeah, you can say, Booger Bubble says, I'm an adult and I don't want to anymore. Yeah, you're an adult. You don't want to eat mac and cheese like a fucking 4-year-old. And isn't that fucked up? When you say, I'm an adult and I don't eat mac and cheese, or a 4-year-old shouldn't be eating that fucking trash either. So don't feed your fucking kids that garbage. Now that I'm eating healthy, it bothers them. It sounds like you need new friends, Lisa. It makes them look bad. It makes them feel bad because they know they should be doing better and you're willing to do it. So they're going to try and knock you down to their level. It's very common. It sucks, but it's definitely their problem. Definitely their fucking problem. Like seriously, if someone doesn't like the way I eat, it's like, fine, then don't eat. Like whose mouth is it going in? Mine or yours? If it's going in my mouth, then I'm the only one that should be concerned with what it is. Correct? Now, of course, with social media, everyone's able to have an opinion. So people get offended like, oh my God, you can't eat this. No, I'm going to eat what I want. Don't hurt my feelings. I'm over here flinging shit. I'll do all that, but it doesn't affect me negatively. I know what the internet is. I know how the game is played. So I don't fucking care. It's going in my mouth. If I don't want to eat it, I'm not going to eat it. And if you don't like it, zero fucks. Zero fucks. I don't care if you don't want. Oh my God, you're eating organ meats? Oh my God, you should have some tofu. No, I don't want to. End of conversation. There you go. How about that? God, fuck those people. If they have a conversation about it, they say, oh, are you on a different diet? Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, cool. And they, whatever. And they eat their food. It just makes them feel shitty. So let them fucking eat their mac and cheese. If you not eating it, if you not having junk food ruins their time, that's fucked up. That means they're only eating it as long as come on, get on board so I can feel better about myself for doing this too. It's weird, right? That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird. Let's get some follow up here. Lisa, it's very fucked up. I've been pulling away from them more and more. We aren't on the same page anymore. The body positivity movement is crazy right now. Is that what they're doing? Oh yeah, it's very crazy. It's crazy. And here's the thing. You don't have to be on the same page. Sometimes friends are for a season. You're with people and then you realize and you grow and you change. You realize, well, that's not who the fuck I am anymore. And it's time to change. Yeah, good for you, Lisa. Fuck that shit. All right, let's give away the Swole card. Remember, swolenormousx.com. Join today because we got our accountability meeting tomorrow. Come on, fam. Accountability meeting tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Holy beard and trap. 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow, February the 1st, inside Swole TV. We will stream live inside Swole TV and the private Facebook group so you can watch it anywhere you want inside the private Facebook group or inside Swole TV right there embedded inside Swole TV. So tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Make sure you are ready for that. Let's give away this sexy fucking Swole card. Am I right? Let's give away the sexy beesh. Good question session. Good ass Papa Swolio, fam. You all crushed it today. You all crushed it. Crushy. Scrolling. Where's my GTTFG? Where are we at? Missed one. Missed two. Get another one. Don't tell me I missed one. Nope. One more time. How'd I miss that shit? Oh, now we're getting to the bunch of them. Now I see a bunch. Ooh, that was close. Clayton, close. Amanda, close. Sarah, congratulations. Congratulations. Are you what? Oh, you're not even, are you not watching live? Oh, well, you better pay attention, girl, because you won today's fucking Swole card. Sarah from Canada, I guess is inside the Discord. So congratulations, Sarah. Everyone say congratulations, Sarah, on winning today's Swole card. And if you missed the Swole card today, oh my God, what's your favorite Swole card? We got the Swole Fam Swole card tomorrow, always epic, but we're going to have some other ragers. I'm excited. More Swole cards. I want you to look at these Swole cards. I want you to think, I got to get off my fucking ass and go to the gym. Congratulations, Sarah. Everyone let Sarah know. If it's in the Discord, tag her and such. Let her know that she won today's Swole card. Send us an email, support@swolenormous.com, Swole card 1731 in the subject. Your mailing address in the body of the email. Fan-fucking-tastic. Am I right? Am I right? It's delicious. It's fantastic. It's an amazing. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. Oh, we all love those fuck average. And the fuck your resolutions. We got some good. We got good. Oh, footballs. Come on now. Come on now, Falcon. Be nice. Let's get this sexy beesh. Let's get this sexy beesh in that nut. Get her in there. Very nice. All right, fam. Well, thank you so much for joining me for episode 1731 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Oh, yeah. It's nice. Oh, it's nice. It feels good. Another episode in the bag. What a great APS. What a great APS. Fantastic. We're almost at a drum solo. So remember, tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. my drumsticks out. Oh yeah, nailed it. Fam, you are wonderful. Tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, don't miss out on that. Accountability meeting, new releases, awesome stuff. I love it. Much more to come. Awesome content on all channels coming ASAP. We got some new stuff on the hook. So I'm excited. Congratulations, Sarah. Let her know that she won, and we'll see you all tomorrow for episode 1732. Remember, private for members only. Learn more. Join now. SwolenormousX.com. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Ya boy, Papa Swolio. Out. All right, another one in the books. Not too bad, right, Falcon? Not too bad. This is excellent. This is a fantastic episode. Yes, now I will feed you. Now you can eat.
Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans, I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
then yeah, I found that young king with my crown at 10 racks in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard to the paint you. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing?
yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant, on topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.